What's up, guys? It's Art and Player again. Here we're gonna go over some of these sweet, nice Ravnica Allegiance cards. So Ravnica Allegiance is out. So first, I want to talk about all the mechanics and what I feel about all of them. All of them are cool. They all look cool. Now, which one's my favorite? I'll make some categories. So first, let's start with the most simplest. Obviously, the most simplest is Afterlife. Afterlife is it's just straightforward. It just dies, you make a spirit. The second one would be Riot. Yeah, but the thing about Riot is just, sometimes people new to Magic won't know what haste, but Afterlife, I'm pretty sure they can get behind that. So, all these cards that were revealed, they're pretty cool. We'll look in depth at them in a second. So, next, what did I talk about? What guild is my first and looking cool right now for me? Simic. Not the mechanic. I think lots of people on the comment section for the videos were saying, yeah, they're expecting +1 counters, but they didn't think it was going to be this bland, and I do agree it's a little bland, the mechanic. Yeah. But their synergies look cool. Now, my favorite mechanic, Riot. Riot, to me, just looks so fun. And Riot's actually pretty also good with Simic. Yeah, someone on that video, for Riot, said it's cool because the +1 counter synergizes with Simic, and the haste could work well with, Rakdos to guarantee quick damage in there, which is good. The Azorius guild, they look cool, and yeah, all the mechanics look pretty good. Now, something interesting I heard about Spectacle, on the comment section, someone said it was it's essentially bad kicker, and then someone replied to it how I kind of read, which is those are two different kinds of way. This is an alternative cost. This is not an extra cost. So Rick's Mighty Reveler, you don't have to pay 6 mana for Spectacle. A card with kicker, let's say it's 2 mana regularly and then 3 kicker, you have the option to pay for 2, or you pay the extra 3, so you have to pay 5 mana essentially. But I'd say the better argument is it's a little bit of a worse overload. Now I say kind of because there's the card Light Up the Stage, which is less instead of more. Because they also require to lose life. So if the cost is more, it's a bad kicker, but Light Up the Stage is pretty good. It's a clause where if they've lost life, you get to cost it for less, which is cool. But for Rick's Mighty Reveler, if you Spectacle, it just does more stuff. So for pre-release, I'm not sure how they're doing it with the packs, because usually, when there's 2 sets, they have you get 4 of the new set and 2 of the old set. So I'm not sure if we're getting 2 Guilds of Ravnica cards, 2 packs in the pre-release. If so, that's actually totally fine. There actually might be some cards you want to pair up. Like Rick's Mighty Reveler, that card, it'd be good to pair it up with some Undergrow cards, because you discard your whole hand. So let's look at some of the cards. Alright, first, Tide Taker. Lots of people have been talking about this awesome Hate Bear. I think this looks cool. So what this is, the 2/1. Oh, kind of Hate Bear, because it has 1 toughness. During your turn, spells your opponent's cast cost 1 more to cast, and abilities your opponents activate cost 1 more to cast unless they are mana abilities. So that's pretty good. And then it has Afterlife 1. I guess kind of because it has that 1 toughness, they just give it Afterlife. Yeah. So yeah, and even if they remove it, first of all, they're going to have to pay 1 extra mana, and then it just becomes a spirit. Yeah, but Afterlife's cool because if you remove it, you just essentially all you did was just turn into a spirit. So if you're using like how they usually have like those 4 or 5 mana removal spells, using those against those are kind of bad because all you do that just says, oh like those 1 mana cards that turn it into destroy it and then make them a token. Like that's kind of what they do. So yeah. Next, we'll talk about Light Up the Stage. Now, this card wasn't in the thing in the vid. It was spoiled before then, like with some other cards. So it's a 3-mana sorcery, has Spectacle. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of turn. You may play those cards. Now, I'm not sure. Wait, if you have to cast them. But it says play, it doesn't say cast, so I guess you just get to play them. And then if they lost life this turn, you can Spectacle it for 1 red. Then Rick's Mighty Reveler. This card feels more like an uncommon card than a rare. But it's okay. It's a 2-mana 2/2. Bear with upside, Well, not technically if you Spectacle it. So, it has Spectacle where you pay 2 in Rakdos. So they have to lose life, and then you pay 4 mana instead. So when it enters the battlefield, you discard a card and then draw a card. But if you Spectacle it, you discard your entire hand and then draw 3 cards. So if you have 1 card in your hand, this is great. You bin that away and then you draw 3. So you essentially just get to draw 2 cards and make a 2/2 for 4. That's not bad, actually. And also, you might have some graveyard synergies. Like, again, if you do get Guilds of Ravnica packs, you can get some Undergrow cards in black for a Rakdos deck. You can make a Jund deck, maybe, and, do that. But I'm not sure what they're going to do for the third set, which is going to combine everything, make a one whole big story. Maybe they have, what they're going to do is just 4 packs of that, and then 1 of each of these sets. But I'm not sure about this if we're going to get 6 Allegiance or 4 and 2 Guilds. So then we have Aeromunculus, a 3-mana 2/3 flyer. That's already pretty good. And then it has Adept 1, so you can pay 4, 2, generic, and then Simic, and you turn into a 3/4, which is sweet. So yeah, over time you can just upgrade it. Like when you play everything and you have 4 mana extra, nothing left, you can just turn it to a 3/4. Which is not bad. So then this cool removal spell here, Bedevil. It's a Dreadbore, but with 1 extra black. But for that black, you get to destroy an artifact. So Dreadbore is black-red and destroy a creature or planeswalker. I believe also instant speed. But this would use paid extra black, but you also get that artifact. Which is good. I do think that's a good trade-off. Yeah, that was also spoiled somewhere else. So these 2 are the 2 Gruul cards from the vid. We have Friends Aeronix. 2 and Gruul has Riot, so it's either a 4/4 trample or a 3/3 trample with haste. So that's cool. And then you could pay 6 mana. Friends Aeronix gets +3/+0 to own the turn. And you don't have to do anything with that. So you could, if you somehow have 12 mana, which by then one of you's already won. There's no way. But unless maybe they're like a real Exorius deck, they're just making sure they live. Like unless you're against that deck, maybe. So then you could boost it up insanely. I mean. But honestly, if you're against that deck, yeah, I'd say you actually want the counter. Unless you're against a mirror against Gruul or Rakdos, you want +1. And especially if you're also using Simic cards, you want that. But if you're against more of a control-y deck, you want the counter. Just because they're already holding you off well. They're not going to be able to kill you quickly anyway, so might as well be able to keep smashing more harder. And then Gruul Spellbreaker, which is a good card, especially against the Azorius deck. 3 mana 3/3 trample. Again with these 3 mana 3/3 tramples. But the other one was 4. But this is 3 mana 3/3 trample. Howler the Fire Fletcher. But also, along with your string, Gruul Spellbreaker has Hexproof. Well, and Gruul Spellbreaker, actually. So, I mean, if you're against a burn deck like Rakdos, you can't take damage. They can't shock you, lightning strike you. They can't use direct damage spells. And it also has Riot. So, again, 3/3 trample or 4/4 trample. Well, 3/3 trample haste. Then 4. And then the second card from the Orzhov, I don't know how to say it, because in there they said Orzhov, I guess. But some people say Orzhov, I don't know. It's a 2/2 vigilance, 2/1 vigilance cost. Orzhov. And then Afterlife, which is cool. I can't wait. They haven't shown the rest of the cycle. I'm not sure I'm pretty sure they should make the cycle for, the multicolor cards. Like the Whisper Agent, Fresh Face Recruit, Shieldmate. I mean, but it's clear that they're redoing the 4 mana and then two symbols of each color, like Rakdos Fire Weaver. Well, here we have Ravnica Azorius Renegade, cost Azorius. Each opponent can cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. That shuts off rocks. Yeah, it just makes mana rocks completely ineffective. All that other stuff. That's just cool. And when an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast, counter that. So no mana crypts, no, like, I forgot what, but it's that counter spell that costs 0, but then on your upkeep you have to pay 5 or else you lose the game. You can't play that. So I'm not sure in Standard how it's gonna do, but I'm pretty sure in Modern Commander this could find a home. Then we have Growth Spell. It has an instant draw card, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. So it's like Broken Bond, except instead of destroying an artifact enchantment, you draw a card. And we have Master Demon, 2, and Rakdos for a 4/2. That's it. It's bad. It's booed. But then you can spectacle it, pay another mana, and then each from discard a card. I guess that rate's probably better. I definitely do not want to make it just a 4 mana 4/2. I'd rather have a 5 mana 4/2 that discards cards. That's better. Then back to Fire Wheeler. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it does 2 damage to target opponent, and 2 damage up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Then we have Mortify, reprinted, start creature and enchantment. Good card. Simic Ascendery, put a +1 counter on target creature. Great. For 2 for Simic, that seems good. 5 mana for your first counter might not be good. 7 for your second might not be good. 9 for your third. As you keep getting on, the deal just keeps getting better. But then it also has whenever 1 or more +1 counter are put on your creature, but that many growth counters on Simic Ascent. On your upkeep, if it has 20 counters, you win the game. So if you, let's say you on turn 6, you do it twice, and you just keep doing that. Or if you use other, adept cards and stuff. Then we have Zagana, Utopian Speaker. 4 mana 4/4. Okay, good rate, but you have to play Simic for it. So, but when it enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1 +1 counter on it, draw a card. Good. It has Adept 4 for 6 mana. You give it 4 +1 counters. It comes in 8/8. Okay. And then each creature you control with a +1 counter has Trample. An 8/8 Trample. You get an 8/8 Trample. And if you drew a card off it, that means that other creature also has trample. 8/8 trample though. 10 mana 8/8 trample, which also might draw you a card, seems worth it. We have the Gate Colossus, an interesting card for the Gate deck. Alright, so this costs 1 less for each gate, so if you have 8 gates, guess what? He's free. Can't be blocked with creatures by power 2 or less, so no little trump blockers. And whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, you may put Gate Colossus from your graveyard on top of your library. So if they destroy it, he can come back. Better. So he's hard to remove. I mean, that also might be a pretty good buff for a gate deck. And there was also this other one. I believe there should be more gate cards. And honestly, it might become something. I mean, the only problem is just your lands are coming into play tapped, which is never good, really. So then we have the 5 shock lands reprinted in this set. Blood Crypt, Breeding Pool, God of Shrine, Hollow the Fountain, and then Stomping Ground. All of them sweet. Then we have the 2 looks like the 2 planeswalkers of the set. There might be another 1 or 2. But we did also get 2 planeswalkers last set, so probably these are only 2 planeswalkers. We have Dalvin, Architect of the Law. So he answers with 5 loyalty, pretty cool. He has +1 gain 2 life, draw a card. That's okay, that's some decent recurring value. Tap target creature does not tap during control's untap. So for a turn you get to doesn't tap during controller's untap step. I think that's permanent. What? Is that permanent? Tap target creature, it doesn't tap during its controller's untap step. So I think you just permanently lock it down. Okay, that's good. That's good. Tap all permanents. That player skips the next untap step. Oh dear. That's seems. You just make. They essentially, unless they have a 1 mana card and a land in their hand, they can't play anything that turn. They can't do anything that turn. Meaning you probably can win. At that point, you'll probably win the game. Then we have Domri, City Destroyer. Also 6 mana. With 4 loyalty this time. But he has a +2 ability instead of plus. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and haste until end of turn. So a whole buff to your whole team seems good. Domri, and then -3. It deals 3 damage to any target. Okay. You can dome your opponent. Alright. -8. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. They gain trample to end of turn. Okay, so use. And they all have trample. That's sweet, but I definitely love Dalvin. That I think Dalvin's better. Yeah, Dalvin's way better because he has good control on him. He just gives you value. I mean, he buffs a lot, but this one just disrupts your opponent so well, and it's honestly what you need. I would be so happy to open this up in my pool. This actually is great. Like, that seems good. Then we are the Haunts of Hightower. 4 mana 6/6, 3/3 flying lifelink. That's not too bad. Whenever it attacks defending player, discards a card. Okay. Thanks, it seems bad. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1 counter. Wow. So it looks like it's a legendary. So you could honestly make a discard commander deck. There's a whole discarding. They just keep discarding and discarding. And this could go into like the Heb decks that make them discard cards. It just comes as a big thing. So all these cards they're pretty solid. All of them look cool. I definitely think Dalvin looks sweet. And if I open him up in my pool, even if Gruul. I'm playing him. I'm going Azorius. It's like, no way, I'm not playing Dolphin Architect of the Law. I don't care if I pick Gruul or I picked Rakdos. I don't care if I picked one of those. I mean, definitely it'll be better for me if I picked Simic, Orzhov, or Azorius. Especially if I picked Azorius and I got him. Then that'd be insane. Yeah, Davin, the new leader of the Azorius. He's good. Yeah, if you don't know, if you haven't followed the story, basically what happened on Guilds is the card Assassin Trophy, the premier card everyone knows about, everyone talks about, and that depicts the fate of Asperia, the old general of the Azorius, but she has fallen by Vraska. So now we're gonna get Davin, who is from Kaladesh. Then we have Domri, City Destroyer. I'm not sure if he's the leader. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Ravnica. I'm not sure who are the leaders. I just know that Davin's the leader of that guild. I don't know the leaders of the other guilds. But, I mean, I know the leaders from the other one just because I got into the story, so I know. But all these cards look sweet. I definitely recommend when the set comes out, buy into it. Seems good. Seems like it's going to be value. Hope there's going to be value. Definitely recommend limited. Go down to your LDS. Go play sealed pre-release. It's going to be a good time. I assure you all. Well, hope you enjoyed that. 3. Why are I going for arena? No.